It is time to go racing in the penultimate race of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series 2000 season as we head to the North Wilkesboro Speedway in Wilkes County. This is the Tyson Holly Farms 400. Always a great race to come to at the end of the season, as these Winston Cup Series drivers really have to drive this racetrack. It's one of the more driver racetracks here on the NASCAR Winston Cup Series schedule. It's been along for a long time here in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, and we're glad to be going here once again for the second to last race of the season. Just 2 races to go. The championship between Barto and Thompson. Not much change after Phoenix. Barto gained a single point over Thompson. Zadell gained a little bit on both drivers and is looking to try and get within a race going into the final race of the season at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. This is going to be a fun race here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Always a great one to come to. This track, lots of legacy in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series here at North Wilkesboro. From the start of the series in 1981 all the way up to 1994, this race held the final race of the season. It was the place that crowned a champion. Up until 1997, it had 2 races in a season. In 1997, it got dropped down to 1 race, this last race of the season, the last Wilkesboro race of the season. And it's now the second to last race on the calendar as compared to the last race on the calendar, Atlanta and North Wilkesboro. Swapped those places around just back in 1995. It is a nice day for racing here at North Wilkesboro. Cloudy skies, 73 degrees, southwest winds at 8 miles an hour, so it's going to be a very windy day for the fans in the stands and for these drivers. The clouds around the racetrack will help create some grip for these drivers as they go out onto the track, and a little bit of a chance of rain, but nothing too threatening here at North Wilkesboro. At the front of the pack, you'll see a lot of drivers in the championship battle, a lot of drivers that have been up in points throughout the season, up there battling towards the front. Colin Teague for Roush Racing claims a surprise pole here today at North Wilkesboro, but who's outside? Trey Barto in car number 3, who comes in second in points. Now, he qualified third, but second place starter Luca Iger failed post-qualifying inspection, which now puts Barto up in second, which for Trey Barto, I'm sure if you ask him, he says, man, I wish the 14 passed inspection, because I'm sure he loved having himself on the inside row, and Keegan Thompson is going to be on the outside row. Thompson qualified 4th, will start 3rd in this race. That's the inside lane for the start. Big advantage to Keegan Thompson off the initial start of this race, as the outside, definitely a dangerous spot to be. You get but 3-4 wide here at North Wilkesboro. It gets very intense on restarts and starts, and when they're double foul like this on the initial start, it's going to be one heck of a show, and these drivers are not going to like it if you're on the outside like Barto, Wells, Jericho, Clifton, and Edwards. You want to get down as soon as possible. Zadell, the other championship driver, starts back in 7th behind Tim Gary, who's making his second start. He'll be starting in 5th. Some track facts about North Wilkesboro. Obviously, North Wilkesboro Speedway in North Carolina, 0.625 miles in length. The banking, some of the most unique banking characteristics of any racetrack. One of the oldest racetracks we go to, 1947 was when it was built. 1981 was when it had its first race in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. The past 5 winners, the last 5 North Wilkesboro second races, had 5 different winners, as you see them on your screen right there. A lot to look to with Trey Rainey and Roland Emmerich and Paul Minnick, Griffin Lynn, and Jeff Bright. 5 races, 5 winners across 5 years. It's an 80-lap race here at North Wilkesboro. That means they fuel window anywhere from 45 to 50 laps, so they can go well past the midpoint. The question is, how long do you want to go? As if you pit here, you could lose a lap or 2. Do you want to try and short pit at those tires, because the tire wear does affect much here, or do you want to stay out and hope for a yellow to trap people a lap down? It's going to be an exciting race to watch here from North Wilkesboro in the Tyson Holly Farms 400. Let's go down trackside for the most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engine! We're going to go to the back.
There roll off the 42 cars to go racing here at North Wilkesboro. Go to the man starting in 2nd place, Trey Barto. Enters over 100 points back of Keegan Thompson's points lead. Barto has not won at North Wilkesboro since 1993. Looking to change that and get another win and get closer to Keegan Thompson's points lead. To a long uphill battle, though, because he starts on the outside compared to Thompson's inside. 3 drivers failed post-qualifying inspection. Luca Iger from 2nd, Sergio Gita from 12th, and Nolan Lawrence from 41st all go to the back of the field. It's Colin Teague on pole. Trey Barto who's outside. They'll lead the field to the green flag and the Tyson Holly Farms Ford. They come down to take the green off turn number 4. Slow pace speed. There it is. Green flag in the air. We're underway for North Wilkesboro. Great launch for Keegan Thompson, got clear, and now hunts off of Colin Teague as they go through 3 and 4. Teague up the track, Thompson trying to bury to the bottom as they come off 4, are racing 3 wide further back, but leading lap 1, it's Colin Teague, but Keegan Thompson quickly takes lead in turns 1 and 2. He's now out in front of North Wilkesboro. Gary gets through the 3rd, Barto trying to clear in 4th, and Will DeBell is for 5th. Zidell on the inside, Wells on the outside, 3 wide behind them. Noah Clifton gets shoved up by Edwards and Lynn and others. Clifton still 3 wide as Conrad Evans goes to the inside. Keyshawn Richardson in the middle. Hunter in the middle back there. So to the inside goes Matthew Burnett. The faster cars that start mid-pack. They're working their traffic. And right here you can see Conrad Evans start outside the top 20. Moving forward in that 31. Noah Clifton start 8th on the drop back in the 32. It's just from the outside. Does you get put up top 3 wide? It's very hard to get out of that position. Could see some more of that as Jordan Edwards left the track. Keyshawn Richardson goes to the middle. Yepes looks to shoot the bomb in the 4 car. Can't get down there. Now Keyshawn just take that spot for Jordan Edwards. Evans moving by the 42 of Caden Lynn. Chris Jericho in the middle of 3. His teammate to his outside. Jack Haas to his inside. So they're getting pretty racy. Trey Barto's gotten by Tim Gary. Now looking to get by Colin Teague to make it a championship 1-2 as Keegan Thompson leads. Barto's up to 2nd. Zidell can make a championship 1-2-3 at the front of the field. Jericho still struggling with Anthony Hernandez to his inside. Conrad Evans moving up nicely from the inside row. Evans trying to break inside the top 10 as Zidell will move on Colin Teague. Great battling already all around this .625 mile racetrack. It may be a short track, but it has a lot of action going on all around it. Evans to the top 10, gets through to 9th off Chris Jericho. Jericho now has his teammate to get by for 10th. That's Mathis Wells to his inside. Jericho still on the outside. Teague losing ground from pole position back to 5th as Gary moves by in the 25 to move through to 4th. Jack Haas shoved aside by Evans, who moves up to 8th. Keyshawn Richardson looking to get closer to the top 10, has Jericho in his sights. Jericho trying to get down and try and get by Jack Haas. Will do just that. To the inside goes Jericho. He's now in line. Still at the front, Colin Teague struggling in the 6th car, but not struggling is Luke Rennie, qualified 10th, started 9th. Here he is, now going for a top 5 on Colin Teague, and Luke Rennie is up to the 5th place. Mathis Wells battling inside Conrad Evans, so the 20 car at this moment looks faster than the 31, which is shocking because the 31 looked very, very fast early on. Hernandez up to 6th place for DEI. Not too bad of a day right now for Anthony Hernandez, up to the top 10 and up to 6th for that one team. Now Mathis Wells wants 7th from Colin Teague, and we'll get to the inside. Keyshawn Richardson wants 10th from Chris Jericho as he fights inside the 18 car. Wells is by Colin Teague up to 7th for the 20 car. Hernandez wants the top 5. There he goes on Luke Rennie to turn 1. So at the moment, Anthony Hernandez showing muscle in that 1 car. And sometimes though, North Wilkesboro, you have a good short run car, will not bode well in the long run as these tires really take abuse. You can fall off a second or more in lap time. You definitely don't want that to happen right now. Anthony Hernandez is not caring about that. He's going through the field, going forward. He likes what he's seeing. He's seeing cars get bigger in his windshield, and he's loving it. They're getting smaller in the mirror. He's gained on Tim Gary for 4th right there. That's a DEI car catching a Hendrick Motorsport Chevrolet. So at the moment, doing pretty well. And at the moment, the top 5 are held by Chevrolet. At the front, Hendrick Motorsport's Keegan Thompson, RCR's Trey Barto, Hendrick's Zidell, Hendrick's Gary, and DEI's Hernandez as Anthony Hernandez goes for 4th on Tim Gary. Gary only a 2nd start in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, left to yield to the 1 car. Hernandez through to 4th. Gary back to 5th, and now the battle behind them for 6th. Luke Rennie on the outside. Mathis Wells looks inside, but doesn't have the run to get down there. Richardson moved by teammate Colin Teague to move his way up to 9th, so at the moment, Colin Teague on the drop back. Remember, started on pole, but now back to 10th place. Jericho behind him wants that 10th spot. The 6th goes up the racetrack. Here comes Jericho looking low off turn number 4. Great run for Jericho right there. Caden Lynn for 12th on Diego Yepes. Riley Sprota moving up nicely in the 28. He started outside the top 25. Back behind them, a problem with Walker Davis. He's still in the middle of the pack, and it's going to cause a crash. Randall involved with Jacob Boyd. The 10 has some sort of issues in the middle of the racetrack still. Can't find a way to get out of the way. He's still trying to get out of the way. This will definitely bring a yellow, and it's a major accident on lap number 15. That's a tough break for all the drivers involved in that. Nothing they could do, but What's the strategy going to be now? Completing 15 laps to the line. The fuel window 45 to 50. You can't make it from here, but you can get closer is what these drivers are thinking. At the very least, you'll be 20 laps short. And as you can see, most of the field, not all of the lead lap drivers, are coming into pit road for service on these race cars. So we'll see which crew does their job the best on pit road. Can Thompson's crew keep him in the lead coming off pit lane? Thompson, Barto lead the field in as Walker Davis. I was just about to go back there and talk about some of the drivers running well. Walker Davis has been having a really, really good run, that 10 car. He qualified well and was racing well up until this point. Both of the front two into their pit stalls. As we look to see who will leave first. Colin Teague, remember, had the #1 pit stall. He'll come in late. It looks like it'll be 4 tires for the leaders. Hernandez looking like he has a pretty good stop. Zidell with a good stop. Might leave in front of both. Keegan Thompson a slower stop. And Trey Barto off pit road in front. That's big. That could be a turning point in this race. Trey Barto's off of pit road in front in the 3. So for Keegan Thompson, he was getting lap lead bonus points. Not anymore. Trey Barto's in full control of this race. Car number 3 leads the Tyson Holly Farms 400. Let's go see what happened. We got the first yellow here in North Wilkesboro. Walker Davis have been running well, nearing the top 15. I think he was actually in the top 15 at this point. And right here, as he goes off into turn number 1, something breaks on the cars. He feels something on the car right there. It's a sudden stop for the 10 car. You have to wonder if he lost power or something. Now he's in the middle of the racetrack. Look at all these cars just coming in, nowhere to go. Cars going on the outside. Cars trying to get down the inside. Eli Bright gets tipped by Edwards down into Jay Rando, who gets up into Boyd. Both those cars spin up. Rando makes hard contact with the outside concrete. But the worst part, kind of, is Walker Davis doesn't really ever try to get off the racetrack, and drivers have to go down to the apron to avoid him. Davis gets further up the track and actually hits Logan Williams. That was not good situational awareness by Walker Davis right there, as he could have collected a lot more cars if those drivers were not heads up. Unfortunately for a lot of drivers, lost a lot of spots, but it could have been a lot worse. They could have been involved in a massive crash. Here's another look, and I really do think, after the first contact made and that crash happens, obviously, that's just kind of a product of stacking up. But Davis should have easily could have gotten off the racetrack right there and just chose not to. And unfortunately, then once cars start going low, you can't get off. You see Roger Earthman damage as well in the 55. So, unfortunately, right there is Walker Davis caused a huge stack up. And, oh, man, some close calls as they try and miss the crash. Well, Keegan Thompson led the field into pit road, but it's his championship rival leading off pit road. Trey Barto with the race lead after the first yellow flag here at North Wilkesboro in the second to last race of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series season. Coming back to the green flag here at North Wilkesboro, Trey Barto, the championship runner-up currently, out in front looking to take control of this race and gain points on Keegan Thompson. Jay Riddle from the crash is out. Walker Davis a lap down. 40 cars still left on the racetrack on the lead lap. We'll see how this goes for the restart. It's Trey Barto in the lead. In second place, it's Justin Zidell. Hernandez up to 3rd. Thompson down to 4th. Rainey up to 5th. Gary is 6th. Evans is 7th. Wells 8th. Richardson 9th. And Jericho rounds out the top 10. How will Barto launch on this restart? We're going to find out. Green flag back in the air at North Wilkesboro. Big stack up behind Gary in the 25 as Evans almost ran to the back of him. He had to check up. Wells almost got into the back of the 31, the 99 as well. Hernandez has a run for 2nd on Zidell as they race off into turns 3 and 4. Thompson goes wide in the 5 car from 4th. A shot for Luke Rainey. Others get to the inside, but Thompson thwarts that attempt nicely. 3 wide behind them. Burnett in the middle. Edwards down low. Hernandez goes for 2nd on Zidell. Great run for Anthony. Hernandez still moving through the field in that 1 car up to P2. Gary back up inside the top 5, getting by Luke Rainey, who went wide through 3 and 4. Now the 20 Mathis Wells look for that spot. Thompson looked on Zidell but couldn't get there. Gary now might have a shot at his teammate Thompson. Remember, these 2 cars in front of Gary, his 2 teammates, they're in the championship fight. So Gary can't get too aggressive with them, or can he? Battle for 6th. Wells getting on Luke Rainey. Hernandez gaining on Barto, but goes up the track a little bit right there, allowing the 3 to gap a little bit, allowing the 24 to close in a bit. Now Evans on Luke Rainey for 7th. The outside lane just not the place to be. You see right there, if you get caught there, you really need to find a hole in line quickly, because if you don't, you're going to lose multiple positions, not just one. And so far, Luke's fallen from, 5th or so. Now he's back in about with Chris Jericho. That's 8th and 9th. Gary going on Thompson. That would be for 4th. Jericho on Luke Rainey for 8th. Anderson Reed up inside the top 10. A good recovery after a bad qualifying spot for the 40 car. As Jericho moved through to 8th off Luke Rainey. Gary's starting to fade off Keegan Thompson a little bit right there as Gary's under fire for Math as well. So Reed looking on Luke Rainey back there for 9th, and we'll get to the inside. The battle is on for 2nd though. 24 Zidell to the inside, 1 of Anthony Hernandez. Side by side for a 2nd, down the back, and a yellow will come out again. A crash into turn 1. Boyd again. Mills involved. Others trying to get through, and Will. Barto leads them back to the yellow flag in the 3 car. 2nd place will belong to the 24 Zidell. Hernandez will be 3rd. Thompson, the championship leader, right now in 4th. But here's another question. What do you do now? 25 laps in. Field window would get you about 5 laps short of the finish, but looks like most of the field is saying no to pitting right here. So they wanted to get closer, but they don't want to take the risk of losing track position. Maybe for further back, he might gamble on this one. But so far at the moment, no one is wanting to gamble. Looks like Mitch Corbett will come in, so if it stays green, he'll be about 5 laps short to the finish. Also, you don't want to fall a lap down because, oh yeah, Jacob Boyd's going to be done for the day. Jose Mills on pit road, he'll fall a lap down, he could be done. So Trey Barto continues to lead here at North Wilkesboro. 2nd caution is out just before the midpoint. Let's go see what happened. 2nd caution flag of the day out, and here's what happened. Jordan Stout getting up behind the 7 of Mills and maybe misjudges it, taps him down into Mitch Corbett, who takes a hard impact in the inside concrete. Stout goes up and impacts the outside concrete himself. Mills spins back up the racetrack, barely clips Roger Ray, goes up the track. Luca Iger does a great job missing. Bibby Ruiz does a great job missing. Jacob Boyd has absolutely nowhere to go but into the 7 of Mills. Ryan Wilson comes in, he clobbers the 7 of Mills. Eli Bright gets into it. Noah Clifton, Evan Hunter, Walker Davis, Nolan Lawrence, all playing some bumper cars here at North Wilkesboro as the 2nd yellow is out, and it's for a little bit of a bigger crash here towards the back of the field. This is just very aggressive racing around the mid-pack, and I think Mitch Corbett saw it coming, got lower than normal off that corner, just trying to get away but couldn't, and some very hard impacts in this one for sure. We know Jacob Boyd's going to be done for the day. Jose Mills may be done as well in the 7 car as he took some pretty hard hits. As Boyd actually looks like got some more damage. I'm wondering if he hits. Oh, yeah, he rear-ended the back of Brandon Beal. I don't know if that was on purpose or if he thought Beal was going to give him the outside, but either way, that actually hurt the 21 a lot more than the 94. Rear-end damage is normally not bad at a short track like this, but Boyd's definitely done for the day. So the caution is out for the 2nd time. Trey Barto continues to lead the 3 car, looking to get the most laps, bonus points, and finish off Keegan Thompson. Looking to get a nice point swing again within 100 points entering the final race. Barto leads, Thompson's 4th for the 2nd restart of the day. A massive storyline with 1 lap to go green. Barto's into pit road. They will come green with 50 laps to go, but Trey Barto's in the pit lane. I could not see any way that this is a strategy call. This has to be he ran over debris, there's a flat tire, or he felt a loose wheel. Whatever it is, it will drop Barto back to the back of the field, and now he is praying that this race possibly stays green and he can make it to the end from here. Remember, the field went to 45 to 50 laps. It is possible he can make it from here, going back green with 50 to go, but if it stays green, he has his work cut out for him. Now Barto, who is in the catbird seat for the championship, falls to the back. It brings Zidell to the lead, Hernandez to 2nd, Thompson to 3rd, Gary to 4th, Wells 5th, Evans is now 6th, Jericho 7th, Reed is 8th, Sprotube 9th, and Luke Rainey now 10th in the 2 car. As we come back to the green flag, we're back racing at North Wilkesboro. A great jump for the 5 of Thompson to the inside for a 2nd. I don't know if Keegan jumped that or what, but he got well to the inside for Hernandez before they got to the start-finish line. Look, luckily he didn't pass him, because if he passed him before the line, that's a penalty. Gary able to keep 4-2. The car's out. Mills and Boyd from that last crash. Oh, Matthew Burnett got a little close with Kukulan as the back of the pack gets a little interesting on this restart. DeLello moving through the front. Look at Caden Lynn shoving Collins up into Jamie Stammer Jr. They're 3 wide off turn number 2. This is just outside the top 15. Getting very racy back here. Racing off into turn number 1. Next to Matthew Burnett looking low on teammate Keyshawn Richardson. In fact, there's 4 Roush cars right in this mess. You have the 97 of Edwards, the 16 Burnett, the 99 Richardson, the 17 Kukulan. They'll look to get track position. Jericho trying to protect off teammate Math as well. Now trying to get the 40 of Anderson Reed. That would be for 6th place. Edwards goes for 10th back there on the 28 of Riley's Burton. Will get it. As Reed goes up the racetrack a little bit. Jericho looks to send it off the bottom. And Edwards still looking on Luke Rainey. So that 2 car, it's just not looked racy at all in this race trim. It looked very, very good in that qualifying trim. But so far with that race pace, it's not really there for the 2 team. A tough break right there for Luke Rainey as he's going to lose another spot to Jordan Edwards. Fall back to 10th. It could lose even more if he stays on the outside. Jericho still looking on Harrison Reed, trying to get a nose to the inside of turn 1. Didn't quite get there in the 18 car. Have to settle, staying behind the 40 for another corner, maybe another lap. Luke Rainey might lose 10th right here to Matthew Burnett. The 16 sends it to the inside. We'll get there. Burnett is by Luke Rainey for 10th. Keegan Thompson in 2nd right now. That's all he really needs to be doing. He doesn't have to be doing anything better than that. He's right now 2nd. Trey Barto has made some progress in the field, but obviously he has to be patient when getting through. Can't be driving through people, can't be damaging his own car. He knows that if it stays green, he might still have a shot to win this. We can see how much faster he is than the cars back here. That 3 car is pretty fast, flying up here, but with how much traffic there is, he's losing so much time to the leaders, and it could really, really hurt him. Mitch Corbett back there, obviously that damage affecting him big time in the 66. He's slower and fading off the back of the pack. Front 4 have gotten away just a little bit. It's Zaydell, Thompson, Hernandez, and then Gary. 5th place, Evans. 6th place, Reed. 7th is now Jericho, who looks on Reed again for 6th. This time he's going to get him. 40 way up the track. No way Reed was going to be able to keep that spot. Jericho is by for 6th. Jericho up to P6. Reed down to 7th, but now Reed under fire from Mathis Wells. Jordan Edwards moving up nicely along with the 16 of Matthew Burnett, his teammate. Behind them, the battle for 11th. Luke Rainey gets it off of Riley Spurgeon. Kukulon now looking for 12th. Yepez solidly inside the top 15 along with the 43 of Zachary DeLello. Some drivers that didn't really start well in this race, making their name known at the front of the field. And Burnett did not start well. Kukulon didn't start well. Yepez and DeLello didn't start well. So a lot of drivers who did not have good qualifying performances. Well, here they are in race day showing up. Harrison Reed, same story without a good qualifying spot. Jordan Edwards going on Reed for 8th, and will take that 8th spot away from the 40 cars they go through 3 and 4. So move Jordan Edwards 1 spot closer to the front. He's up to P8. He's chasing 2 JGR Pontiac just in front of him. Everyone's chasing the Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet of Justin Zaydell, who inherited the lead after Barto had to come down pit road with an apparent issue on the 3 car. We're now past the midway point of this race. Zaydell leads off teammate and championship frontrunner Keegan Thompson. Hernandez, who's had a hard luck season, in 3rd, looking for something to go his way. If that car can show the same pace it showed on the first 2 runs, watch out for the front 2. How about Tim Garrett, just his 2nd start, up to 4th place in the 25, just lurking like he did at Phoenix. Can he try and lunge this time to try and get the victory? And Conrad Evans solidly inside the top 5 currently. Just behind him, Chris Jericho won last time at Phoenix, but was with a lot of luck with pit stops. We'll see what Jericho can do and what his team can do if they make a green flag pit stop here today. Mathis Wells in the 20 just behind him. Solid day for JGR, but this man, Jordan Edwards, getting very aggressive on this run. That 97 has come alive. He goes on Mathis Wells for 7th place. Burnett got by Aaron Reed for 9th. Now Reed's back to 10th, but in line. Here's the highest battle on the racetrack. It's Edwards versus Wells for 7th and 8th. Edwards on the inside of the Ford. Wells on the outside of the Pontiac will have to yield through 3 and 4. Move Jordan Edwards up to 7th place in the 97 car. Very impressive run for Jordan Edwards. Obviously subbing around mid-season, and he's had some good runs, but he's had some poor luck and some unfortunate runs in this 97 car. Here he is doing it well. Let's see where Trey Barto has moved up to. He's moved up nicely by Colin Teague, by a lot of really fast cars right here. He's by Caden Lynn, so Barto's wasting no time carving through traffic up to 18th. Now going for 17th on Keyshawn Richardson. That's also part of those tires coming into play. Remember, he put on fresher tires. They probably have about 10 or so less laps on them, as he's up to 17th now and absolutely just tearing through the pack. I actually wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe break inside the top 10 here if it stays green. It's that 3 car. I mean, obviously a man on a mission currently. Or a chunk just in front of him for another spot. That'd be 16th. And for Barto, if it stays green, he's in a decent spot, right? Because you imagine if he can't make it, he can make it so close to the end of this race, though. So even if he can't make it the whole distance, he can still make it so close to the end to where he can drag this out, hope a yellow comes out, trap people lap down, or drag it out, come down pit road for just a splash of fuel and no tires at the end and gain a lot of time that way. So if he stayed, oh, he just gave the bumper to lower trim right there to turn 3. Right now he's about 6 seconds back, probably a little bit more than that at the line. But if he can stay within a decent range of the race leaders, he could possibly still, even if he can't make it, do it with some strategy and gain a lot of spots. Now he sees the top 15 in his sights. That's Zachary DeLello for Penny Enterprises just in front of him. That's 15th. That's his gateway to the top 15 right there. I think he'll get him this time off 4 into turn 1. No. DeLello had pretty good drive off right there to keep that spot. And obviously the further you get to the front, the harder it's going to be to pass these guys. Obviously they have some pretty good cars, and the tires are starting to wear out a little bit more on Barto's car, and they're starting to equal out. As he's getting to the back of DeLello right here, getting a little testy with the 43 car. He's saying, ooh, I have a place to be, and it's at the front of the field. So Barto inside the top 15 now for the first time since he had to come down pit road, and has some more cars that he can pass in the front. Reed got back to 9th, but now gets passed by Burnett, who moves back up to 9th. Meanwhile, at the front, Zeidel's long run pace doesn't look like it's appearing. Oh, we have a spin into turn 3. It's Walker Davis, who maybe just got dumped by Logan Williams. This will set up, no yellow yet. We're still green. Davis got spun, but we're still green. No yellow quite yet. I have to believe Williams spun him. I don't think the 10 spun on his own. We'll have to see if we have an angle of that later in the race, but there was an apparent issue on the 10 car Walker Davis, but the officials did not throw the yellow. I was about to say that ruins what could have been an advantage for Barto, but at the moment, staying green, it could be good for him. Edwards, while we were looking at Barto, got by Chris Jericho. Now looking to get by Conrad Evans. That'll be the top 5. This 97, if it stays green, watch out, because he's still close enough to leaders to make an impact on the ending of this race. Yep, there it is, top 5. He clears Evans. What a run forward for Jordan Edwards in that 97. Evans down now to 6th, under 5 from Jericho, who's currently in 7th. Barto got by Yepes the last lap, moved his way up to 14th. He got by Kukulon this lap to move his way up to 13th. He's now hunting down Riley Spurrington for 12th. 11th place, Luke Rennie just from him. Then the top 10, Harrison Reed. Barto can see the top 10. He is marching to the front of the field, only 5 seconds back of the leader now. Yeah, it was 6 seconds when we last checked. It's now 5 seconds. He is gaining time. He gained a 10th and a half that lap. 12th place for the 3 car. And remember, he won't have to pit. These leaders coming up, they're coming up to 20 to go. Remember, they pitted to where they could probably go to about 15 or so to go. So they are approaching now the window of where they're going to have to come down pit road, and Barto can go a little bit longer. Have to see how this all plays out here. How does the strategy play out? Look at Thompson. He's sending it deeper into the corner. That 5 is handling better. He has more brakes than the 24 at this point. He's exiting lower off the corner, showing how well that 5 car is handling. Barto moved by Luke Rennie for 11th in the background. And that could be part of Thompson's urgency, is saying, oh, that 3 car is coming. I need to make sure I'm in a good position in case a yellow comes out here. Williams to pit road in the 11 car. Noah Clifton. So here we go. The pit cycles are starting with just over 20 to go. So here we go. We're going to lap Mitch Corbett. Zeidel will go through on the bottom. Oh, he's washing up the track a little bit. Thompson in behind him. No one of the leaders pitting. Davis will pit as a lap car. He'll move out of the way. Here we go. First leader, and it's Tim Gary. Evans will pit as well. Front car back there also pitted. Here we go. Pit stops are starting. Who's the first of the front 3? So the first time the leaders came in was 20 to go. Looks like right here Zeidel might be coming. Zeidel will come. Hernandez will come. Thompson will stay in the 5. So Zeidel now in. There goes Barto by Reed. Thompson inherits the lead. Barto, all the while, is still gaining time on that 5 car and hoping he has to pit. The 3 can stay out longer, and then hoping a yellow comes out after he puts most of this field a lap down. When does Thompson come in? Not yet. Thompson wants to go. At this point, right, it's not about winning the race. It is about trying to out-strategize the 3 team. He does not want to stay out, have the 3 get a yellow flag, and trap Thompson lap down. He wants to drag this out. Even if he loses time, he wants to drag this out in case a yellow comes out. He'll have to come in here. So Thompson in. That will leave Trey Barto on an island of his own. He's in front of now Gary and Evans, who were the first of the front few to come in. They have fresher tires. They're going to fly by this 3 car. But Barto's challenge is hope. Oh, he's going to go. He got hit by Gary up the track. One of Thompson's teammates just wipes out Barto. The yellow will come out. Oh dear. Oh dear. Where is everyone going to be scored in this one? Who will be lead lap? Who will be a lap down? Who will be the leader? Oh, this is going to be something to watch out for here. In all honesty, this may have played right into Barto's hands. It may have. Barto had not yet pitted, and I think he has most of the field lap down, but Thompson stayed lead lap, it looks like. That is massive if that's the case. If Thompson stays lead lap, that is everything he needs. There he is. So the leaders will be coming in, and if Keegan Thompson stayed lead lap, that's a miracle. If he didn't, oh boy. So Barto's in, as the field tries to sort themselves out here, wondering where everyone's going to be scored, who's a lap down, who's 2 laps down, who's lead lap, who's going to be the leader after all this. There's the 3 car across the... Oh, Thompson is going to be a lap down, but he did gain some spots off of that. But it looks like the only 3 cars on the lead lap are Trey Barto, Nolan Lawrence, and Mitch Corbett. The Haas Carter Motorsports cars have played this strategy, staying out longer to get themselves to be 2 of 3 cars on the lead lap. Barto leaves pit road. I don't know where he's supposed to be scored. If he should be letting these guys go, it looks like they're going to let him go instead. So he'll have a buffer. The question is, what if these guys start to pass Barto? Could Nolan Lawrence and Mitch Corbett try and win this race? Well, it's all been shaken up here at North Wilkesboro, as it was Tim Gary, Keegan Thompson's teammate, that got into Trey Barto in the 3 to set this off, and now the field has been stirred around. Let's go see what happened. 3rd caution. It's a big one here at North Wilkesboro. Let's watch this racing off to turn number 1. Remember, Tim Gary on fresher tires. Barto on more worn tires. Gary sends it in deep, and Barto gives him the lane down low. Gary just drives him up into the fence. The 3 car hits off the wall, hits off the 25, puts Gary into the wall, and it spins Barto around. The yellow has to come out for that, and it's a major, major change in this race as Barto traps most of the field a lap down. The 3 car, one of only 3 cars to now be on the lead lap, and we're going to be going green with about 10 to go. This could not have played out much better for Trey Barto in the 3. I think the big thing now for Trey Barto, how bad is the damage on the 3 car? He's in a prime position to win this race. The 2 cars behind him, Mitch Corbett is damaged. Nolan Lawrence is obviously in a Haas Car Motorsports car, which is slower. But if Barto has enough damage to where that damage could be affecting him, could Nolan Lawrence for Haas Car Motorsports steal a win? Well, that's going to be the intriguing part. Trey Barto involved in a crash, but it helps him. He leads. He has his championship rival trapped a lap down in some traffic. We'll see how it all plays out on the restart with about 10 laps to go in the Tyson Holly Farms 400 at North Wilkesboro. The green flag will wave with just over 10 laps to go here at North Wilkesboro. The pack shaken, stirred around as the pace car leads Caden Lynn, but Lynn is nowhere near the leader of this race. No cars are tied from that. Davis is 3 laps down. Logan Williams is 2 down. A lot of cars are now 1 lap down off of that. You see them on the screen. Who has fallen 1 lap down? 16 cars are technically on the lead lap, but the leader is Trey Barto all the way at the back of the field. Here's Barto. He is behind a lot of drivers. You can see the cars. They're on the tail end of the lead lap. Keegan Thompson right now scored in 5th in front of Anthony Nance, Conrad Evans, and them. 2nd place is Nolan Lawrence. 3rd place is Mitch Corbett. Barto all the way at the back has 3 cars between he and 2nd place Lawrence, but if the 3 doesn't get going on the restart, gets passed by the 2 or the 20, can the 26 take advantage? We're back green at North Wilkesboro. Big thing for Barto, don't pass the inside before the start finish line. He passes the 28. He didn't. He did a really good job at not doing that. Because if he passes the guy in front of him before the start finish line, that's a penalty. Barto puts another car between he and Nolan Lawrence, who tries to find a way up here. 3 wide in front of the 26. Barto has 3 wide in front of him as well. That's a little bit further up. So right now Keegan Thompson got by Zidell. He is now the highest driver in that position of being basically tail end of the lead lap. See, Lawrence already fallen off of the pack. Needs to really just hope Barto has issues right here in the 3. Barto not looking to have that. What a lucky turn of events this was for the 3 car. As he had an issue, had to come down pit road, but then was able to stay out longer than anyone. That somehow helped him out here. a lot of these dirt drivers are already lapped down or two, or they're on the tail end. So at the moment, Barto just trying to be cautious the way he does. He can't just lay off because Lawrence is still just hanging there, but he also can't be too aggressive to where he gets himself into a bad position, gets into a crash or something here, and gives Nolan Lawrence the lead of the race. And then puts himself out. He's in a good position to gain at least some points on Keegan Thompson. Behind him, they're getting very racy. Colin Teague has had more issues. He'll come back into pit road. Obviously, tough break for Colin Teague, who started on pulling this race, but has not been a pull-like run here today. 3 wide, just a few rows in front of Trey Barto. Zeidel has really fallen on this restart. He's now outside the top 10. A lot of cars going around him. Evans also falling. Harrison Reed and Hernandez are setting up for maybe top 5 days. As Keegan Thompson got put to the outside. Oh, here's Colin T coming off pit road. Hernandez shoots through the middle of that. They're now 3 wide. Thompson up top. This could be bad for Keegan. Coming back to 5 to go at North Wilkesboro. Keegan still top of 3. Back to 5th, and every spot he loses is a gain for Trey Barto. Reed trying to get down there in the 40. They're still 3 wide with Keegan. That's good. Yeah, jumps him up now. And where can he find a way in line? Maybe right there. That's a big break because Keyshawn went to the bottom of Noah Clifton. Keegan can get down right there and will. So Keegan now has a shot to move his way back up to 5th. Get by Anthony Hernandez. 4 to go for Trey Barto in the background. There's Barto carving by Zeidel to put him a lap down. Now Zeidel's championship chances are likely over after this unfortunate break. Back around to 3 to go for Trey Barto. Oh, around goes Edwards. That will be the end of the race. Yellow will come out. It's a massive one. Edwards, Wells, and others involved. Nolan Lawrence gets through. The yellow will come out. Trey Barto looks like we'll win this race, barring any incident under yellow. Coming back to 2 to go. 2 to go. There it is. Thompson got up to 4th. He got by the 40 and the 1. So Barto will gain points, but once again, it's not going to be that big of a gain. It's still a gain. Not going to be a terribly big gain, though, for Trey Barto, but it looks like he'll win this race for a 4th win on the season. We mentioned he's not won since 1993 here at North Wilkesboro. Well, here he is in his final North Wilkesboro race. In all likelihood, he's going to be winning it. He's actually passing drivers. I don't know if he should be doing that or I think he wants to get up to the pace car, but I guess he was told to pass those guys. Maybe they're going too slowly in front, but now they're going to pass him back here. So that just created kind of a long. I guess he had to catch the pace car, and they weren't passing the pace car. So he just wanted to go up there and catch it and say, well, I mean, you guys can drive by me if you like, but I have to be up behind the pace car. I'm sure NASCAR is probably yelling for the leader to get up behind the pace car. If I'm Barto, I'm giving everyone a lane at the top, saying, go by. Oh, Luke Iger just ran into Trey Barto. Now Barto says, all right, I'll give you the bottom instead. How about we find a way to do that? They're still, yeah, they're having a hard time here. I don't know if they don't know that they should be passing the 3 or what. Keegan might, yeah. Keegan's either congratulating him or is pretty mad about what happened, but either way, the checkered flag is out for Trey Barto, who wins a wacky one here at North Wilkesboro. Barto with the win. It looks like Nolan Lawrence should end up 2nd in this with Mitch Corbett in 3rd. What a wacky ending to this one for sure. As we had a lot go on, Trey Barto picks up his 4th of the season, and could this possibly be his final ever NASCAR Winston Cup Series win? We've been talking about it, you know, after Las Vegas was that it, after Watkins Glen was that it, after Lowe's was that it. After this, is this finally it, or does he have one more in store for one final race? Barto with the win here at North Wilkesboro, but still 1 race to go in his career, and we'll see how it goes. He still has a shot at the championship with, well, all I can say, a lucky performance here at North Wilkesboro today in the Tyson Holly Farms 400. After that one, let's go check the finish results. Trey Barto ends up with the victory. A very topsy-turvy ending to that one. Nolan Lawrence ends up in 2nd for House Car Motorsports. His teammate Mitch Corbett ends up in 3rd. You have to know that TJ Henley is ecstatic about that one. Lawrence and Corbett finished 2nd and 3rd for House Car Motorsports. What a team day that was. And what a strategy call it was by both their crew chiefs. I mean, props to those teams. playing it out just perfectly. Keegan Thompson, damage limitation for the 5 team, ends up in 4th, but on a day which looked like it could have been a really, really big game for him. And Anderson rebounds at the top 5 for Team Sabco. Hernandez for DEI ends up in 6th, so a lot of weird teams finishing inside the top 6 here today, top 10. 7th place for Keyshawn Richardson, 8th place for Chris Jericho, 9th to Zidell, 10th to Tim Gary. Luke Rainey ends up in 11th here today, Cameron Evans in 12th, Matthew Burnett ends up in 13th, Wells and DeLello 14th and 15th. Jordan Edwards involved in that final crash gets 16th, Spurgeon gets 17th, Chung 18th, Yepez 19th, Caden Lynn ends up inside the top 20. Sandwich Jr. gets 21st, Kugelman 22nd, Iger 23rd after failing inspection, not too bad. Higuita also failed inspection, gets 24th. Collins gets 25th. Haas, Hunter, Baird, Wilson, and Strickland all finished top 30. In fact, think about the other driver that failed inspection. He qualified 41st, started 42nd because he failed inspection. He got 2nd in this race, Nolan Lawrence. Jordan Stout out from that crash in the 88. Colin Teague 5 laps down with issues on the 6th car. Another cars out during the race. Jacob Boyd, Jose Mills, and Jay Brando, all from their crashes, respectively, during the race. Well, it was a crazy one. Trey Barto will gain some points on Keegan Thompson. Look at the points entering the final race of the season. Keegan still has a pretty big points lead, and something massive would need to happen to him at Atlanta for Barto to get this championship. However, it is still mathematically possible that Trey Barto could leave Atlanta with the championship, but needs to go all his way in the final race of the season. As has been tradition for a few years in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, the finale of the season takes place in Hampton, Georgia at the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the NAPA 500. It's the finale of the 2000 season. Keegan Thompson versus Trey Barto for the championship. Which of them will reign supreme? Barto has the momentum advantage, but Keegan Thompson has been oh so consistent as of late and has been limiting the amount of points Barto has been able to gain on him in these last few races. And that's what's made this championship fight so exciting entering these final few races, as Thompson and Barto trade blows. And at the moment, Thompson stands tall, but Barto is right there. Remember, RCR very good earlier in the season at Atlanta. Evans winning it, Barto doing really well. We'll see which team shows up at Atlanta prepped to win that title. Congratulations once again to Trey Barto and the 3 team on winning their 4th race of the 2000 season. Join us next week as we head to Atlanta for the season finale. We'll see you guys then.